welcome back. We are going to be swapping the Coke can motor on the Kraton 8S with a new warrantied out Coke can motor that Castle provided me. So as you guys already know, the sensor that's in the back of the one that's in there failed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws you take out. The back half slides out for the sensor. Go ahead and slide the new one back in and you're all good. But they went ahead and sent me this one out. So we're gonna go ahead and unwrap this thing. It's beautiful, guys. You got 2 sensors locations, one on top, one on the back, and because the motor is so far back, I use the one on the top. Well, actually it's on the side the way I have it mount it. And then the 8mm shaft, and then just the awesome craftsmanship of the 2028 800 kV Coke can motor. There's your specs right there. Now I stuck one of these in a limitless called Limit Do. My buddy runs. He just went 105 in it. Congrats to him. So we're gonna go ahead and get this swapped out. Bullets, everything should be the same. So we're gonna get started with that. Now on this body, which is the original, this was the original Kraton 8S. This was the demo model. I stole the roof sliders for another RC. I went ahead and cut them down, which was the Red Cat Kaiju. I used them on that, so I went ahead and cut them down. I have had some on order. I don't know why they're not here yet, but I definitely got to get those back on. As you see, body has been used, but for the most part it's in excellent shape. So the normal thing, shock towers poking through. I'm hoping, I wish on the Extreme Basher kit, just like the Extreme Basher Kraton, the EXB, that front bumper, I wish they would make one for this RC. That would be epic. So if anybody knows of a front bumper that's like the EXB, we're gonna go ahead and get that ordered up if somebody's got a recommendation for that. So I do have the Castle fans on this one. My plans are to change out these fans and run a set of Game Changer RC fans on this, but for now we're just going to get this motor assembly slid out the side. So it should be relatively easy. The way I have it set up, I do this with zip ties all the time. I'll throw a zip tie around it and one in between each wire to keep them separated. It also helps on putting it back when I unplug it. They're always kept in the same order. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on swap. It should be a pretty easy swap on this thing. I will have to use new zip ties on I think I used 2 zip ties because I cut this fan off before, and in order to get it around this big motor you got to use 2 6-inch zip ties. It lets you pick up one big zip tie for it. But let's see if I can get this thing cut off here. So there is 1 bolt underneath on this motor and then 2 on top. I do have the PPS motor mount for this, so that's how I was able to get this Coke can motor in here. And then I do have an M2C racing chassis on this because we were making this bulletproof. I still have the shock shafts to do on this one, but for the most part this RC is pretty much done. So one screw on the bottom, and then there'll be two on top, but I also have to remove this side piece. And I am going to look over the rest of the hardware on this, just to make sure nothing's coming loose. I did swap out the whole chassis on this thing, so I just want to make sure none of my hardware is actually coming out of this chassis. There we go. Just had to be a little looser. And then two here on top. So, top spacer by PPS and the two bolts. Look how grungy they are. Then get my fan out of here. It'll slip right out. Slip the fan out. Gonna have to cut these, I think, again. Yeah, because I got two zip ties holding this on. Get it to wrap around that motor. So throw that fan off to the side. Motor is out. So now we're going to get this grub screw out, hopefully, because I do have a ton of Loctite on it. That seems kind of loose. That's better. These are my MIP drivers. My regular MIPs are pretty wore out now, so I'm gonna have to get those replaced here soon. A lot of Loctite. Saga custom gear. You can see all the Loctite and grunge I've been throwing in this thing, trying to keep that on. Now what I'm going to do is take the other motor mount. I'm going to match up where the wires go, stand it up, and transfer over the PPS mount. There we go, guys. I can feel something in the back. So I'm going to take this motor and wrap it up in this paper. Just so it doesn't get damaged. Damaged worse than it already is, I should say. Go ahead and throw some tape on it so it doesn't come undone. I'll go ahead and slip this in the bag they provided. God, this bag is awfully small for this motor. Just like that. And I'll get it sealed up. And then this was a return address thing they sent to me. So I'll drop this off Monday and get that headed back out to Castle, since they provided me a new one. So I do have the sensor wire out of the receiver box, or actually it goes to the outside of this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to plug in the sensor wire now. Let's see, because I'm going to plug it on this back side like that. And this is the old sensor wire. They had provided a new one, but this one I know is working fine. So I'm going to get this thing slid into where I had the wires before, and then before I put it all the way in, I am going to get my fans put on it. Oh, and the gear. I gotta get the gear set onto it. So I am going to get the gear set on here. That will, I think, be close. Okay, that gear will have to slide back a little to put these top ones in. Leaving that loose. Then we're going to get the gear mesh set here. Come on. Good right there. Of course, a different size on this one. So that's tightened down. Sensor wires on. Top one is C, which is the first one. Now sometimes you got to close these up. Oh, these are the wrong size bullets. So, yep, these are literally the wrong size bullets because it's not part of the combo. So I wish Castle would have known that, because now I got to cut off these bullets and solder on smaller bullets, but I don't know if I have any more. I think I used them all on limit due. Let's take a look. They are the same as the Castle Creations one. So there's one. So I do have enough to make it work, but I have two of one style and I have one of a shorter one. Doesn't really matter because I'm going to shrink tube the ends. These are the ones I like that have the notch, because I can really get in there and fill it up with solder, where the Castle Creation ones has the hole. So what I'll do is take the Dremel and cut that out so that I can get a good solder joint on that. Alright, so I already prepped the motor, got the ends cut off. So it's just got a little pinhole, and I'm going to open it up like those because they're easier to solder. So just stick a little V in it so that you can get your soldering iron in there. Then you can get right up in there. Heat it up a little, add some solder until it starts sucking down into the wire. That's it. So I have it like this. There we go. I did wash up the side yesterday, so this side will go back on. First, I'm going to get some zip ties around those wires, get these wires cleaned up a little bit, and yeah, we should be good. Then we'll get it all cleaned up, get it ready for the next rip. But want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on my next video.